Hey everybody, Mr. G here. Let's wrap up Unit 1, Section 1. So, if I went to notesprint1.java, there's actually a lot going on in this document. When we talked about the example, we only talked about this thing at line 3. But when we zoom out, there's actually a lot going on here. So public class notesprint1, public static void main string args. There's so many pieces here. And we really only honed on the middle line, this print line here initially, but every piece that's written here is important to the program running and doing what we want. As another example, here's what was in notesprint2.java. And there's some things that are different, but between this and this, there's actually a lot that's similar. So I want to highlight some of those similarities, not necessarily to describe how every one of them works, but for us to realize what some of the structure looks like for future use. All of our Java files for the foreseeable future will use this structure. They'll all feel very similar this way. So the first line is public class. So they both say public class. And then they actually have the name of the file. So this is from notesprint1.java. So they say notesprint1. This was notesprint2.java. So this was notesprint2. And it doesn't use the .java extension. It just uses the name, but not the Java part, which is interesting. The second line is actually exactly identical. Public static void main string args. Public static void main string args, identical. And that's going to be identical in a lot of the samples we do. Throughout this year, we're going to unpack everything about these lines. You're actually going to understand a lot of the pieces of them. And you'll end up better understanding how we can use them to our advantage. But for the time being, when you create a Java file, Visual Studio Code will actually fill in the information for you. They'll write public class notes print 1 and then public static void main string args. And that's really great because we aren't going to worry about that for the time being. But I wanted to kind of highlight that there's this interesting similarity in the code at the beginning of these files that we'll delve into later in the year. I wanted to start putting it on the mind. And at this point, now that you've kind of gone through the notes, you've looked through this notes.md file and everything written in here, as well as maybe some of these Java documents that had the sample code, you can go over to the initial try folder and pull up try.md to learn more about what I want you to initially try before you come in for your next class. All right? Have a great day.